What's up, everyone? Thralls Metal here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
Miller.
And we have an album review for you, and one that was on both of our radars because this involves probably one of our favorite guitarists out there and just all-around gritty metal dudes.
And of course, we're talking about Matt Pike.
And this is, I guess, his solo album. It is simply called Pike versus the Automaton. Pretty sure Pike won.
Pike always wins.
Pike always wins. Pike always fucking wins. This comes out on the 18th of February on MNRK Records, which I'm not really familiar with.
No, me neither.
As far as when this formed, I'm not really entirely sure. Maybe last year, maybe 2020. This might be
like pre-pandemic or pandemic, kind of sitting in the house, got some shit going on.
I mean, Pike's got riffs. We know that. Pike's got tons of riffs.
Machine.
And again, solo album, side projects. I mean, there are other musicians involved, but this is definitely Pike's thing. I mean, It's got his fucking name on it. And, well, I mean, it's Matt Pike. He's a badass. He's a riff lord. And he can smoke you under the fucking table. I mean, those are the things that I know about Matt Pike. That and he doesn't like to wear shirts on stage. Those are the things that are established about Matt Pike. And this is... well, all right. It's a solo project. He wanted to do some stuff clearly that he was known for, and then some stuff maybe that didn't necessarily fit in with High on Fire or Sleep. And
there's definitely some of those things in here. But before we get into those, some of them that you would associate with said bands, right off the bat, Abusive hits you with that. I love that first main riff there, the chorus. It sums up exactly everything I love about this style of music.
High on Fire-ish. Like, this one's very much like, oh yeah, I know this Pike. It's riffy, it's fast-paced, it's like got a kind of a nice, like, kind of, you know, thrashy stomping spots to it. Big, stupid, heavy fucking riffs. Really cool crawling riffs, and of course, because it's Matt Pike, he doubles all the solos, very Iommi-ish of him.
And that solo is awesome, and the ending is just like a juggernaut. Just it's awesome.
I mean, you know, if you know Matt Pike, you know that dude likes to lay on a riff, and man, he does it a lot on here. But when you get to stuff like Trapped in a Mid-Cave, this is kind of that Sleep side coming out. This is a slow stoner jam that's essentially built on maybe just a couple of riffs, but fuck, they're good. That warm kind of like Caius, St. Vitus, Fu Manchu sort of feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Big kind of desert vibes to it.
Yeah, in the beginning, you know exactly what's coming, but the anticipation of that moment when you look to your buddy and just like, you know it's coming, but it's still great.
Big slow build-ups. And I mean, honestly, like, I'm reasonably sure I've heard probably a variation of that riff before on either Black Sabbath albums, or I was
very
just
Sabbathy.
Yeah, just getting stoned to the bone listening to Fu Manchu. But I don't know, it's just the whole feel of it, the whole vibe of it. It's kind of this fun jam session, and it's like an 8-minute song, and this thing just kind of lays on those riffs and just keeps the mood rolling. And
I like how John Reed is real snare heavy on his drum patterns in this song. It breaks it up from the just standard doom kind of drumming. It gives it kind of a swingy feel to it. It's pretty sweet. But the one thing about this one, that build up didn't hit as hard as I think it should have, or I wanted it to, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just more like a moody jam. Like, I don't know.
But there was like this big build up to this thing, and it didn't.
Oh, the stomping toms, like, here it comes, and it's like, well, that was good. That was good.
And if Lemmy was still around, Throat Cobra would be his guest spot. This is like a Motorhead tribute almost. It's killer tune. It drags a little bit 3/4 of the way through, but I love how the middle opens up a little bit. But killer tune, like I said, if Lemmy was still around, he would be on this one.
D-beat, sleazy rocker. I mean, honestly, like, Matt Pike is essentially this generation's Lemmy, and that means you guys have to take care of him. He's already lost a toe or something, so let's just keep them all together. But he also kind of continues that on Acid Test Zone, which, well, with the weird intro to it, and there's one little spot in that song that just blips for a second, then it never repeats. But the rest of it is this punky, sleazy D-beat song, again, kind of capturing Motorhead, but kind of like also like Bad Brains and Dead Kennedys too.
Yeah, a little wall of noise stuff aspect to it too. Like you said, a bunch of randomness in the background, just odd stuff, like banging shit, and like it's just stuff. It's not anything you can latch onto.
It's just like ambient stuff, like just to let you know, like, oh, I wasn't just playing music in the studio, I was also moving furniture and kicking around and plates and
throwing cans.
Is that Chupacabra? Get the guns. It's a strange album, and it can take hard turns and styles, like Apollyon and Leaving the Wars of Woe, the two longest tracks on here. And honestly, like in terms of the vibe, they really couldn't be any more different. Apollyon is a very awesome song. Like, I like how this song is constructed. It kind of slowly builds tension. It starts off very Melvin-y. You got Matt Pike crooning weirdness in the beginning. It almost sounds like he's on a, bullhorn, except he's like in the bathroom.
Yeah, I thought the beginning dragged a little bit for me though on this song in particular, but I think it was just more or less coming off of Alien Slut Mom, and that song is just killer, like all the way through.
Watch the video.
So I think that kind of hurt Apollyon for me, at least in the beginning. The middle part was cool.
Oh, I love the middle part. That lead section is so Thin Lizzy-ish.
Mm-hmm. And it's like he goes off in this like randomness, like riffing just nonsense, and then it all fits together, in a perfect like cohesion of drums and guitar and bass.
And the flat out doomy end to that song, which doom is kind of the main vibe on Leaving the Wars of Woe. Except it's doom and then some strange noises in the background again.
Yeah.
There's this like steady hiss drone phasing in and out of like ambient something.
I had to like check, like, is this refrigerator fucked up or like, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck is? And you're like, oh, this weird noise, like, oh, it's the song. I'm not crazy.
Literally wrote it down too. It was like, because when I was listening to it the first time, I was like, is there something? Is my AC running or what is that?
It's like in Sonic Brew. I forget what song it is, but he does the cop light or the siren blip just once. Every damn time. Oh, you fucking Zakk Wylde.
Yeah, this is like the hum of machinery and something in the background. But you focus more on the main doomy riff on there, luckily. And I mean, I think, again, this is another long song where there is about like 2 or 3 different riffs on it.
Yeah.
But they're good.
They're good. And then getting into the more oddball stuff and tying into my Zakk Wylde comment where Land, I think this would be a song that Zakk Wylde, I'd picture him singing on that too. But it would be cool if Pike and Wylde got together.
I mean, there's a lot of riffs.
Wylde.
There's a lot of riffs to be found there.
It's really different. I mean, this reminds me of like a Tyler Childers song. It's a country, and it's good stuff. But
country western, like it has like that desert vibe. Like
it's got that vibe. Yeah. It's just all the instruments they played were dirty.
Yes.
They were just filled with whatever.
Sand and scorpions.
Yeah, whatever ambient noise he was making was just the dirt that came off these instruments from this song.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there were points where, like, I thought the drummer was just hitting, like, a stack of pans in a, like an old restaurant or something like that. Like, I don't know exactly what all the noise is going back. Like, there's people shuffling around in the studio while they're recording it, but it's this bluesy country desert jam, and this is where Brent Hines actually accompanies him and kind of shows off that Matt Pike can sing. It's just a very gruff croon, but
it's cool though.
It is cool. It's bluesy. It's earthy. It's got grit on it, and it's a kind of a, I don't know, like a dirge of a song. Like, it's definitely not a ballad. Ballads are a little bit more happy-ish.
This is a good jam. This is a good jam for sure, and certainly something that doesn't fit on anything else he's done.
No, this was probably the only place for a song like this. And then you have Latin American Geological Formation, which there's a lot of those. First off, there's a lot of Latin American geological formations out there. So really vague title, but this
it's a very vague song.
It's a like his attempt at like a 60s acid jam or something like that. Like, you know, he just kind of walked upon a drum circle with a bunch of kids like, you guys like amps and shit?
Yeah.
And, you know, like, wait, hold on, what you got there? Is that mescaline? Gimme. And just sort of inserted himself in, and this is just a weird, spacey jam.
Yeah, and there's nothing to really grab onto consistently to hold my attention in it anyway. And I get the feeling that throughout the whole thing that it's going to start fading out. At any point, the song, when you're listening to it, could fade out. Like you're like, and like 8 minutes go by, you're like, what? Is that?
This song is very strange, and honestly, it doesn't really go much of anywhere. I don't know, like High on Hawkwind, maybe, instead of High on Fire.
Great way to put it. Great way to put it.
It sounds like, you know, like a stoner jam / mescal right. Maybe the name of the song is where they fucking tripped out and wrote it, or where they were abducted by aliens. I don't know.
Probably both.
And yeah, like, I mean, there's a lot of extra weird stuff on here. Like the song Apoxia. It's not really a song. It's essentially the same riff after Trapped in a Mid-Cave, played again, except with like people cheering and applauding.
Yeah, I would. I mean, just put it at the end of the other song, I guess. For me, I don't know.
I don't know. It's like a separate, not even minute-long track, and then at the end of the songs, there's always something strange.
Just fades out into just stuff.
Yeah, like
talking or chains or whatever.
At the end of Land, like there's a conversation that someone's having with someone, and then someone starts talking about like chewing tobacco. And
it's just randomness.
It's just randomness. Like there's weird, like noisy samples at the end of Abusive. I don't know. Like it doesn't like necessarily tie it all together. Like it isn't like, oh, this noise kind of moves into the next track. It's just like we didn't stop hitting record. So that was what happened.
It's like going through a sound library and just, that was cool. That was cool. I like that one. We'll use that one too. Going through that one too.
Now blend them all together and loop them.
Yeah.
It's a very strange album. And I mean, honestly, like I didn't know what to expect from this, just because like, all right, Matt Pike, I know him from High on Fire. I know him from Sleep. I know what those sound like, but I have a feeling that he's going to try to do some different stuff. But also, Matt Pike knows how to write killer riffs, and he's you know, the big stoner metal guy. So I got a bit of that familiar side, and then I got a whole bunch of really weird shit that was, well, pretty fucking entertaining.
Yeah, for sure. It was an entertaining album. And that's why I'll give it a 3.5. I thought it was a really good listen. There's some parts that drag, but not nearly as much as like some of the real crazy doom metal stuff even that I listened to. So it wasn't that bad, but I think maybe the order of some of the songs could have been better, maybe, or I don't know. It's a solid listen for sure.
I'm gonna go 3.5 as well. I like it. It has a very unique, moody vibe. Like this is probably like the moodiest thing I've heard him do. Like, because generally, you know, High on Fire is doomy and aggressive, and then Sleep drones on forever. But that's why we love Sleep. This is definitely different. Like you get kind of his more bluesy side. You get some, you know, very off the wall, trippy stuff. There's a lot of extra stuff. Like some of the weird background noises on that could have been trimmed out a little bit. The strength of it is still on its riffs, and the riffs on here are solid. And I mean, that's what Matt Pike is known for. I kind of like that he's kind of stepped outside of his comfort zone, and this is a good outlet for shit that wasn't going to fit on his other projects. Yeah, while it is a bit overkill on some aspects, it does deliver what I love about Matt Pike. So, I mean, if you love Matt Pike, if you love High on Fire, Sleep, if you love weird stoner metal, go get this shit. I actually ordered it about halfway through listening to it, and I definitely don't regret it. So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We are also on Patreon. There will be a link down below if you'd like to help us out there. And as for shirts, we are going to be making an announcement this coming week, and we'll be showing a little video of the new shirt design. We are very excited about that, and that will coincide with a giveaway, because we are very, very close to hitting 10,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. I know we say that every time, but it is. It really fucking is. And it's all due to you guys. So thank you all very much. You guys make this worthwhile. This is a fuck ton of fun, and we're just happy to be entertaining you metalhead folks out there.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, this is the best part. So once again, thank you, because I don't say it enough, and we will catch you later.